Hello again, and welcome back to the fourth episode of the Kerbal Mining Guild tutorial series. Now that we've scanned and found the ore we want to mine, it's time to talk about all the different ways you can go get some. I recommend testing all of these miners on Minmus to start, as its low gravity gives you the most margin for error, and the flatlands are extremely easy to set these craft down on. Also, while we haven't covered mods yet, HyperEdit makes testing these extremely easy, as you don't have to actually land each craft on Minmus, or any other body, for testing purposes. Now, as I mentioned last week, there are 5 different types of mining vessels. That may seem overwhelming at first, but each of them has a specific role leading to little confusion. Also, unless you're like me, you will probably only focus on the type or couple of types of landers that suit your playstyle the best. With the exception of the Asteroid Miner, craft files for each lander type have been uploaded to Kerbalcast. Number 1. Ore Retrieval Lander. Typically, this lander type is a small unit designed to efficiently descend to a body, fill up an ore tank, and then return to a mothership with it. Personally, these are my least favorite type of lander. They are the most difficult to actually use efficiently. As you mine, your craft will gain mass, meaning you'll burn more fuel on the way out than in, which in turn will lead to a lot of wasted fuel bringing your ore home. Unless you land on a super low gravity body or an asteroid, the benefits of this miner are only slight. Still, it has its place and typically will find its niche role as a small support craft for small stations, or on an exploration vessel where you're trying to save weight. These landers typically weigh in at 15 tons fully loaded, so they aren't a lot of dead weight on interplanetary burns. Also, as Biff likes automated landers, these are the most conducive to that playstyle. Probe bodies are much lighter than command pods, and since you have solar panels and batteries to run the drill, it isn't too much of a problem to just stick a probe on it. Number 2. Full Service Lander. These heavier and more complicated landers are designed to both mine and refine ore before returning to a mothership or continuing on their own journey. These landers are great for servicing large orbital facilities, fleet setups, or as the main detachable thrusting body of a larger interplanetary vessel. Since you carry your ISRU down with you, you can refine ore and fill up your tanks wherever you land. Then refill the ore tank to bring more back up. These types of landers typically clock in at around 40 tons personally, but are much more versatile than a simple retrieval lander, and as such this number could vary wildly based on your own design style. Whatever the case though, these units can easily bring the most fuel back up from the surface in comparison to all other true mining lander designs. Number 3. The Mobile Lander. These types of landers are very heavy, very complicated lander designs. They're designed to land and drive around on the surface. Typically these are not designed to come back up, but instead make surface-side mobile mining bases. These are insanely complicated to build, launch, and usually land, but offer a number of advantages over all other mining setups. Since they are mobile mining bases, you can move to find the highest concentrations of ore on the surface and accurately place yourself in ideal launching spots for fuel ferries. Their large size also allows you to mine much more quickly and efficiently than any other mining craft, save for a specialized, dedicated base. They are extremely customizable and can be augmented with farther landed modules to increase productivity or make up for shortfalls in the original design. The final plus is that they just generally look better than other landers. And let's be honest, everybody loves a good looker. Number 4. Asteroid Miner. Technically not a lander, since it will usually just grapple on and extract the ore within an asteroid. Still, you must land it onto an asteroid rather than crashing on it. These mining units typically are placed onto an asteroid after it's been moved into a suitable orbit around a body you wish to create a gas station at. These miners clamp on with the grabber claw and then drill into the asteroid to relieve it of its precious cargo. Asteroid mining will be thoroughly covered in the advanced tutorials, but this lander type needs to be mentioned here with the rest of the landers. Number 5. The Fuel Ferry and Fuel Truck. While not actually a mining vessel, these craft are still vitally important to any long-term mining operation you choose to set up. With either a stationary or mobile mining base, you need to have a way to fuel your craft in orbit. While you can send the craft down, it's usually much more efficient to send a tanker up. Thus, the fuel ferry can carry as much or as little fuel as you need into orbit to supply your vessel. On the occasion where you do set a craft down on the surface, the fuel truck allows you to bring fuel to that vessel without fear of damaging your mining operations. Fuel trucks also make great multi-purpose vehicles that can act as crew and science transports when not hauling fuel around. Both of these craft are more difficult to use without Kerbal attachment system, as docking to a vehicle on the ground is more difficult than one in space due to the engineering requirements to make sure that docking ports are the same height. It is possible though, and like many other skills becomes easier as you practice it. Alright miners, this concludes the basic portion of the tutorial. You now know how all the mining systems work in KSP, how to scan for ore, build a miner, and then use that miner to keep your ships going into the great beyond. But wait, there's more! Next time, join me for the first in our advanced tutorial series where we begin by discussing the permanent mining base. If I receive enough questions, I may do supplemental episodes to further explain concepts, but for now, I'm considering all of you promoted from mere trainees to certified guild miners. Now go out there and dig something up. J. Arthur, signing off.